I thoroughly expect that to be a pain in the ass. Oh, damn it. Stupid mouse thingy. Alright. How high can we go? Is that reachable? Yes, but it appears there's nothing on it. Yeah, there's another one of the workshops. Yeah. Yeah, you know, that's what we'll do. We'll go to the other workshop first. Do that. The canvas. Hang on a second. What have we here? Alright, so this is not the painter's workshop. Okay, this might be just a regular-ass dungeon. Though I don't like the looks of the shadow creatures. This might just be another... Fuck you, here's a boss that you need to be like level 99 to tackle. Ooh. There's the team. Oh, hey, there... Alright, there's the doggo. Esquier, as loyal in the painting as he was in reality. Or Minoko, I'm sorry. Esquier was the doll. Alright, a canvas portrait of the Cassandra family. Do you wish to remove the portrait? Oh. This feels like a decision that's gonna have consequences. So fuck it, let's do it. You remove the portrait of the Cassandra family. The frame hangs empty. Huh. Picture frame is empty now. Is that it? Do we put that somewhere? Huh. Okay. Well, I don't know what I was expecting, but... somehow the game managed to defy that anyway. A recurring theme. Or aspect, I should say. What do we even do with this? We put it in the camp somewhere? Probably we put it in the manor. I don't know. Even though we're in Act 3, I still feel like we're only just scratching the surface of the mysteries and the bigger questions. Like, what are we even gonna do once we defeat Renoir? Oh, is this the... Alright, the Reacher. Alright, so that's the tower. Might as well poke at it, but something about this tells me this is come back and deal with it later territory. It isn't red. Usually that's how the game marks don't go here yet. We'll give it a try and see if the first few fights are within my reach. Basic attack build and his fire stacking build. Yeah, I feel like fire stacking is kind of the secret ingredient to make a character just do obscene damage over time. Maybe not like a lot of great spike damage, but damage over time is a reliable problem solver, unless it's just straight up immune to fire.
Another Axon. How did it get so large?
She wasn't always this tall, but she's obsessed with reaching the stars, so...
Papa and his parables.
Parables?
He never paints just to paint. Everything has to have layers and layers of meaning and purpose. Everything's a lesson.
What's the lesson with this one?
Hope.
Lizzie. My sister's at the top.
And Papa knows I have vertigo.
Huh. Alright. Fire stacking being good is kind of unique to Verso. Maelle has kind of fire build, but she has much better things to be doing.
I
Versus-
hate climbing.
Verso stacks fire into the hundreds. Ooh, alright. I will look into this. Fire is our friend. It helps us play. Oh, god damn it. Well, so at least it's not as bad as the Gestural Beach. Oh god. Oh god, are these mimes? Okay, no, they're just random enemies. Okay, let's see if we can actually do anything to these guys.
Let us
Alright.
stain them.
That's some. That's better. I think we can do this. Actually, I gotta swap in Moko.
Oh well.
Damn it.
A storm is coming.
Actually, these dudes remind me of the trio of guys that was working on the balloon. I forget where this was. It was a much earlier, like, side dungeon we did. On camera, I got, like, pasted by that fight. I took care of it off camera. It wasn't really plot relevant, just a bonus boss thing. But these look like the normal versions of that. Yeah, Verso, let's tag you out. Minoko, why don't you hop on in and let's collect some feet.
Time to bleed.
Alright. Nice!
Chroma is flowing.
Now that's some damage.
I'm ready. From fire. Guard up!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
A storm is coming.
Alright, that's a problem.
On guard. Finesse and precision.
Alright. So not a bad amount of XP. Hey! Alright. Won't be power leveling per se, but given the size of this place, I feel like we'll be climbing it for a while. Minoko, you got anything fiery on you? Here we go. Medium single target fire damage and applies 3 burn. Hell yeah. Let's swap that out for... let's see, Clair and Feeble. Yeah, we'll swap that in. Why not? Don't think we'll be using a lot of light damage here. Alright, look around. Let's give that a try. Nice. Good counter. Should burn to death next turn. These guys are a little more predictable. Also, a hell of a lot of damage with the dark element. Maybe they're also weak to that. Alright, up we go. Yeet! Whee! Hopefully this isn't a...
Perfect.
This whole thing isn't as long as the Monolith was. But I do get the feeling it's gonna be an ordeal.
Chroma is flowing.
Nice.
Brace yourselves.
Huh. That inflicted blight with the first hit. It's a rather long one. Alright. Well, we'll see how we do. At least it's something we can do.
Are they trying to fix things or break things?
A stark contrast
She
from
who
other
grasps
content.
the sky. They're jealous. They wish to destroy her work. Pull her back to the ground.
So,
Is this part of the parable?
Everything is.
doesn't that mean we should be, like, helping them? I mean, you know, they're obviously not in a talking mood. But I feel like them succeeding would make our job easier. Actually, hang on a second. Eh.
Let the ink flow.
Alright.
Ow, wow.
Hey, consume 1 AP to prevent status effects application if possible. That does seem useful. Alright, we can't actually go this way. Fair enough. Must kill faster. We have a long way to the top.
A bit of violence, yes.
Yeah, getting back to the elephant in the room here. We need to ask ourselves what happens once we actually kill Renoir. And I think that gets to the final real mystery this game is going to hang over our heads, which is... what then? Does this painted world just kind of exist in perpetuity? Does someone have to maintain it? Can it be maintained without outside help? And again, my mind goes to Star Trek for comparisons, because really, you pretty much have to look to the holodeck for a situation like this. And start asking questions like, what rights does a created being have to exist at its creator's expense? Are the people of this world... do they have the same rights as people in the real world? Ideally, that would be a clean-cut yes. But it's not like there's someone we can appeal to about this. It's basically going to come down to, can we challenge our creator for the right to exist? And if so, what happens then? Like, what happens physically to the canvas that we're in?
Danger!
Like, imagine if you had, like, a world in a box. Like, an entire world somehow fitting in a shoebox on your shelf. Do you have to keep it there? Like, does the box eventually wear down? What is the maintenance involved? What is the chain of custody? What is your responsibility for the lives that now live in the box? It's fascinating stuff for... It doesn't feel like a science fiction story, but it is asking the kinds of fascinating questions you would get from a science fiction story. And, you know, that's a little over our protagonist's head, because right now they're on stop the bad guy from destroying our world. And they haven't really grappled with what even is our world and what comes after that. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be kind of an 11th hour dilemma after we deal with Renoir, and there's going to be a bigger problem looming after that.
Flames, rain.
Yeah, it seemed like... Or you get put on a cat's collar and nearly stolen by a huge bug. Yeah, yeah, the Men in Black thing, exactly. Ow. Entirely possible. Yeah, I feel like Clair is gonna pose some kind of dilemma because she was on her father's side, I believe. And might intervene on his behalf, or maybe be a boss afterward? I don't know. There are a lot of ways this story could go, and I'm kind of excited to wrap it up. But, you know, I want to hit the side content and find out as much as I can. They've created a fascinating world, and they've got some real... They got some real brain food here about the deeper implications of the world they've created.
Nice.
It is fascinating, and I love a game with a good mystery. And this game is like several nested mysteries. There are issues with the presentation. Again, I feel like Verso easily could have revealed at some point that this situation is not what they think it is, without deflating the underlying tension. Like, bringing up at some point, hey, the Paintress is a little more complicated than you think this is. Consider that you don't actually know what she is. Nobody's really gotten that far. Here's what's actually going on. Like, maybe you still have to deal with her, because our brief conversation at the end of Act 2 made it sound like she thought we were intervening on behalf of her husband, and thus taking sides in their little dispute, so she could still be an antagonist anyway. But I feel like just having Verso, like, not address this at all is kind of a weak way to execute on that plot twist. There are probably better ways you could have handled that, I think. Anyway, what's your story? Shoot the dangly thing. Dangly thing not doing anything. Interesting. Alright, no, it's out. Here we go.
I'm ready.
Alright. Poke that out. Ah, alright. Just pops the weak point with no fanfare. Fair enough. Depends on his motivation. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, motherfucker.
Okay.
Doubles the blight and heals its allies. Maybe that will come up later. In which case, I'm probably going to be retroactively sorry. I didn't cockblock him in that case. It's a case where I broadly like the character writing for him, and I do kind of feel like he's grappling with some heavy existential stuff that complicates his role in the narrative.
Watch out, Minoko.
But it's still kind of a strange decision to have him be the protagonist, effectively.
Flames. Rain.
The fun begins.
Because I feel like his real role in this is just kind of a wild card that it's not really clear if you can trust him or not.
On me.
Chroma is flowing.
Alright. Here. Urso's defense, he wanted to destroy this world and die for good. He was kind of clear about that when he got exposed after the fact. None of them were going to deal with the Paintress if he opened up with, by the way, killing her is going to nuke the entire world. Yeah, understandable, but I feel like sitting on that only just delayed the problems when it became clear that they had a real, actual chance of getting to the Paintress.
Your turn to dance.
I don't know. Basically, I just think he's kind of an odd choice for a protagonist, given the conflict of interests and the fact that the player is operating at an information deficit. I feel like it is weird that the party would trust him, or not constantly interrogate his motives and try to find out what they can, especially when it is crystal clear that he is hiding pertinent information. Like, at some point, they really should have sat him down and grilled him, like, okay, what the fuck is this Manor we keep seeing? Who are you really? Who is Renoir really? Who's the weird lady with the mask? We have questions that need answering, and you don't get to lead the party until you start. In theory, yes. In practice, obviously, she has the Paintress powers, so she is effectively in charge. But she's still... her identity is still kind of scattered in a way that feels like she hasn't really taken charge. Maybe that will be a thing later. Also, are we gonna have to jump this the old-fashioned way? Probably. Damn it. Oh, wait, no, we gotta go over the platforms there. But yeah, it feels... It feels weird to have, like, getting to know each other character sequences when there are obviously things he's not telling about himself, including stuff the group would logically want to know about. Hey, Picto upgrade. Nice. And I feel like that's the part that exists in tension. It's great that we're all buddies and getting to know each other and developing relationships and such bits at camp, with the weird existential nature of the problem they're facing and the sheer number of questions they should have in the face of a threat they don't understand in the slightest. Yeah, I think that's the big issue, is that the party should be more skeptical of Verso's motivations than they are. And that's a shame, because otherwise I am pretty impressed with what it's done in terms of the big picture questions and the very nature of the world. This is an absolutely gorgeous game, and it is giving me a lot to chew on philosophically. And yeah, I ask questions like, what even is the nature of the world? What is our right to exist and such? Not because they have clear-cut answers, but because they don't. And I'm very interested in seeing how the game wraps this up. So yeah, whatever else happens, I am absolutely on board for the ride, and I am invested now. Alright, let's see how much dark damage this does. Alright.
Let us stain them.
Again, if you can kill, like, one or two enemies on that, it seems like that ability is very well worth the HP cost. And you have the Lumina that gets health back. Also, I noticed that these guys only did their healing stuff after I shot out those bulbs, so maybe that's not the right thing to do. Alright.
A storm is coming. Careful, Maelle.
I do love jump attacks. They're basically free damage if you time it right. I mean, you know, so are parries.
Sweet.
But jump attacks come with a nice big push the button now dummy indicator. And I like that. I'm a simple man and I respond to simple cues. Nice! Anything around here? Because I know there was that balloon platform behind us. Just making sure there's no treasure we missed. It doesn't look like there is. Don't think it was much of a reach. Should they have? Probably. They were grief-stricken from Gustav. Dude came along, saved them, had a bunch of insider knowledge, drip-fed just enough real information to gain trust. Logical response for a world where there is no betrayal, since there's one goal, survive and stop the Gamage. Why would they suspect him? I believe that up to a point. But there are some things they really should be asking that they did not. Like, I'm very surprised no one ever asked about the Manor after the confrontation with Renoir. Like, that should have been a red flag that there is obviously more going on than... Like, what even is this place they keep going to? And why... I don't know. They're looking back, I would have to refresh myself on the specifics, but I do feel like there are things they could realistically press Verso on that he would have to either lie about or give away that he is withholding information. Anyway, which is worse? To die or be one who survives? To grieve or to be grieved? Kind of a pick your poison here situation. Some might say that's lucky, not simply because you survived, but because you had the opportunity to care deeply for another. I find myself grieving before they've even passed, grieving what could have been, grieving what is to come. She'll never forgive herself. She'll carry her scars with her always. Would that I could ease her burden. This guy's interesting too. We've seen that design before, and I get the feeling it's the same guy and we're encountering him in different contexts. Like the faceless kid. Again, hard to tell if that is someone who existed in this world before the fracture, or someone from the real world that is bleeding into this one. Maelle seemed to get all the Manor info from the Curator before Gustav even joined up with her again. Save. Nah, not enough damage. Just do fire. Anyway, I'm just nitpicking. The more I'm invested in a story, the more likely I am to pay more attention and be a bit more particular about what works for me and what doesn't.
Let's dance.
Like, I'm not gonna nitpick the nuances of, say, like, a Hyperdimension Neptunia game or something. That is very clearly there just to be a cheeky, reverential... cute girls doing cute things, the JRPG. With maybe some... bunch of, like, game industry in-jokes.
Okay.
When I have to... start asking deep questions about the plot, the characters, and their motivations and such. That's when the little things start to stand out a little bit more for me. Oh. Thank you, Saribot. Oh man, he got a twofer. Alright, let's see here. Not enough.
Now the fun begins.
Alright, what do we got? Well, now that we're already low health.
Brace yourself.
Uh-oh. Oh. Sorry, Minoko. Taking those deaths like a champ, I gotta say. Might as well.
Time for revenge.
From fire. On me.
Brace yourself.
Damn it. I think he was exactly at 45 health last time. Nice. No, use the gradient attack. Oh well. Well, it gave her the point she needed. Another one of those combos where as soon as you get off beat, you're probably in a poor position for the next hit. Sometimes you can recover in time. Not always. Anyway, when we get to a charge encounter, 10% of a gradient charge on a count. Oh, okay. That's a ton of health. That's very useful. Minoko. Let's see. Base attack has one extra hit. Yeah, what we're gonna do. Swap this for charge encounter. And we will equip that. Let's say... combo attack. Here we go. Alright, on we go. Get the feeling the lack of a map is going to be an issue here. This looks familiar, though. Bugger. See, I don't think we went up here. Oh, wait, no, that's where the balloon was. Here we are. Yes, I remember now. I remember things. Not very well, but I do remember them. It happens in middle age. Ooh, alright, this is taking us up a good ways. And it's taking us back down a good ways. Did we just jump off? Ah. Well, we're making progress. Hey, there's a flag. Outstanding. How are we doing in point-wise? Yeah, we got some points to Spread around. Yeah, we'll take 5. I'll get a refill, and we'll get some exercise in. And we're back. Before I get rolling again, let's see if Minoko has a fire weapon. Actually, we'll spend some sorts of these points out. Why not? I heard there was one fight that dumps a whole bunch, hit the Windows button in accident. One fight that gives you a whole bunch of color of luminas. Like an optional boss fight that is repeatable or something in old Lumiere. I'll have to look up the details, but I know there's a way to, like, just give yourself a ton of Lumina points and get every skill all at once. Alright, do we... He does. Yeah, you know what? Let's see if we can... Oh, damn, we only have 3. Bugger. Alright. Yeah, we'll have to get upgrade mats along the way. Oh god.
That Nevron just kick a different Nevron off the tower?
It looks that way.
Hey, there we are. God, this place is huge. Not just in terms of size, but also in places we... Oh, it's gonna be one of those fights. Alright.
Good stuff.
Where is it at, game? Where is it, little bastard? Oh, there's these guys. Yeah. Oh shit. There we go.
My, what lovely feet.
Alright. Bonk.
Please survive.
Twofer. Hey! Speak of the devil. What room do we unlock this time?
You speak to me of perfection, but is there really any such thing? Or is it a siren leading us astray? I happily predict that neither of us will ever summit that elusive peak, but I care little as long as we walk together. Art gives us the perception of control. For a moment as I paint, I find order among the chaos. That is, for me, a moment of pure contentment. And that is truly better than perfection.
Well, every book written is the death of a perfect idea, as... I forget who said that. I want to say it was Stephen King, but I can't remember. Might have been in On Writing. But I feel like the same thing applies to painting. And actually... I initially thought this would be like a hub location. Can we... Yeah, I thought this would be like a Nexus area, and we could emerge in any Manor entrance we discovered, but that doesn't appear to be the case. It doesn't look like we can go out of places we came from. And the main entrance just always takes us back to the door we entered from. Maybe there's something once we unlock every entrance. Yeah, hey, oi! Alright. Roll a catalyst, excellent. Damn, a lot of guys down here.
lovely feet.
Nice. Actually, I should probably swap in Seal at some point.
What have we here?
Get her some levels in. Yeah, let's tag out... Let's tag out Luna. Can we climb that? No. Alright. Alright, looks like nothing else down here. Oh, oh. My mistake. Yeah, wait a minute. No.
Great.
There's a tank somewhere around here. I will not make an exhaustive search for every little thing, but it would be against my nature to not try and bust these things. Hey, there you are. Alright. Let's chase this little brat down. That's it. There you go. Alright. Let's go bowling.
Your turn, Lance.
Yeah, dodge. Please survive.
3 turns, eh? Alright. Oh, mother of God. What?
A bit of violence, yes.
Okay. Shit. Medium physical damage can break. Alright, now I think our only real choice is to stun this thing. Bugger, bugger, bugger.
Not leaving you behind.
Alright, what's our options here? All foretell to do additional damage can break.
Here's your card.
Damn! Alright, that did way less damage. Fuck.
The bitter dregs.
Alright. Medium physical damage can break. Deals extra break damage. Just not stalling it enough.
Lady Luck smiled today.
En garde.
Did I forget to put that on her, or did that conveniently do exactly all 9s?
Finesse and precision.
Not enough. Bugger. Yeah, I think we'll just have to get good on that one. Seems like the first set were like up through about Act 2, they were mostly doable with like whatever party and composition and builds you had on hand, and ever since then they've gotten more mechanically complicated and require specific strategies to bust. Or maybe I just don't have the right build in mind for maximizing break damage. It does kind of feel like you need to orient yourself towards particular skills and luminas to maximize that. It doesn't happen all that often outside of bosses, I've noticed. Okay, so let's take a closer look at you. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I was off of that. My bad. Death allies gain shell. Versatile after a free aim hit. Nah. This is much more useful. Actually, wait, no, we don't have to choose. Hell yeah. Let's just grab some stuff. Alright. Onward. I wonder how close we are. Definitely a Monolith situation where dungeon is basically going to take an entire session. Just be planned around. That's more like it. Down it goes. Alright. Okay. What do we got? Yoink! See if we can pick up the pace here. Parents will be over later. Aw. No hugs like mom hugs. I hear ya.